Do you want to grow beautiful hydrangeas but you're short on space? Well, today I'm going to share with you two varieties of compact hydrangeas that can fit in any garden. Hi, it's Steph, and I am standing by my hedge of little lime hydrangeas. I have 3 planted here, and they're looking absolutely beautiful. They have been planted here for about 4 years, and you can see they've put on quite a bit of size. And limelights are a panicle type hydrangea. Now, panicle type hydrangeas can generally take more sun. So when you think of hydrangeas, you might automatically think that they need shade. And what you might be thinking about is the mop head or the big leaf hydrangeas. And yes, those do need more shade. Those are the blue, beautiful hydrangeas that you typically see usually at some point in June. And then later will come the panicle, which are these really large blooms and usually in shades of white that then age to pink. Now, the panicles can take more sun. I have here my little lime hydrangea hedge planted in full sun, and it does beautifully. Now, the difference between the little lime hydrangea and the traditional limelight is that the traditional limelight is a full-size hydrangea shrub, growing anywhere from 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. And this one here, the little lime, has been bred to be more compact at about 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. And if you don't have the space for even a medium-sized hydrangea at 3 to 5 feet tall and wide, now I'm going to show you the smalls, which have recently been developed in the last couple of years to fit any size garden. And the first one that I'm going to show you is a compact version of this beautiful hydrangea here, which is the Quickfire. And as you can see, the Quickfire hydrangea is really large, beautiful, but large. So if you don't have the space for the Quickfire traditional shrub, you can now plant the tiny Quickfire. And it is a beautiful, small, compact version of the Quickfire hydrangea. The tiny Quickfire only gets to be 1.5 to 3 feet tall and 2 to 3 feet wide. Now let's go ahead and compare the blooms as well as the color. You can see that they all start, both the Quickfire and the tiny Quickfire, with creamy blooms that then begin aging to this rosy pink. So as we get a little higher, you can see how similar they are in color. And you can also tell how similar they are in bloom. They have very similar shaped flowers and bloom buds. So it's amazing how these can be bred to just be a very compact version of the original plant. The tiny Quickfire is a panicle hydrangea, and it is a proven winner's color choice shrub. It will start blooming with this beautiful creamy color, and then it will age to a gorgeous shade of rosy pink. It is a sun to part sun shrub, wanting 4 to 6 hours of sun per day for best blooming. It is hardy in USDA growing zones 3 through 8, or down to -40 degrees Fahrenheit or -40 degrees Celsius. It gets to be 1.5 to 3 feet tall and 2 to 3 feet wide. It is early blooming, cold hardy, and it is a petite shrub. And the next hydrangea that we're going to talk about, which is also a dwarf, is one that I planted in my garden last year, and I loved it so much, I picked up 2 more. It is the Firelight Tidbit. Now, these are not yet in bloom, but the ones in my garden are. So let's go take a look at them. And here's where I have my little hedge of the Firelight Tidbits that I planted last summer. I planted 5 here in this patio bed, and they look absolutely beautiful. They have such large panicles for such a small shrub, so I'm really thrilled with them. And for that reason, I went ahead and I ordered 2 more for a different spot in the garden. Let me go ahead and show you the specs on the Firelight Tidbit. The Firelight Tidbit is a panicle hydrangea. It is a proven winner's color choice shrub. It will start a creamy white, like you see here, and then it'll age to shades of pink. It is a sun or part shade shrub, and I have mine planted in full sun, and they're doing beautifully. It is hardy in USDA growing zones 3 through 8, or down to -40 degrees Fahrenheit, -40 degrees Celsius. It is a petite shrub, cold hardy, and has abundant blooms. And you can see that by the ones planted in my garden. Now the new Firelight Tidbits that I received in the mail are not yet blooming, but they're already starting to form buds, so they will bloom. The reason why they're a little off from the ones that are in my garden that are already in bloom is because these came from a greenhouse, and I ordered them from Great Garden Plants. And if you've never ordered plants online before, I'm going to insert some footage of when I received these and what they looked like. It was later in the evening, so the footage is a little bit dark because it's at night, but I think it's always interesting to see how plants come in the mail. In fact, these last year I ordered as well online, and I will link the video to when I planted these and how I received them in the description as well as in the pinned comment. But the temperatures have started to cool off. Good morning. The temperatures have started to cool off. It's actually going to be in the high 70s this week, so it is perfect to start planting again. When I received them in the mail, it wasn't. So I made sure to keep them watered, and now we're finally ready to put these in the garden. So let me go ahead and insert that footage, and then I will show you where I'm going to plant them. It's dark out and it's not ideal for filming, but I went out to my front porch to water some things and I noticed that I had this box on the porch. This is some hydrangeas that I ordered, and anytime that you get live plants, you want to get them out of this box and watered as soon as possible because they're probably stressed in this shipment. So I ordered these, and if you're ever curious about how plants come in the mail, I'll just show you. This is from Great Garden Plants. And I ordered 4, 2 of one kind and 2 of another. So it says open from side of the box. So there's actually a pull string on it. So you want to go around the box. So easy. Look at that, beautiful. Looks really good. This is the Firelight Tidbit. So I planted some of these last year. I really liked them, so I picked up 2 more. And this is the other Firelight Tidbit. This is a tiny quick fire. All right, looks good. I just wanted to show you what it looked like in shipment. So if you've never ordered plants in the mail before, you have an idea of what to expect. It's heavy. I'm going to plant my tiny quick fires right here in the front of this border. Now, if you recall from a garden tour earlier this season, I had some Carl Forrester reed grasses planted in the corners here, and I thought that they would look nice originally as a pillar on either side of our front porch. But it turned out that the one on this side was growing fine, but the one on my opposite side wasn't getting enough sun, and it became floppy and messy all over the plants and just taking up a little bit too much real estate. So I thought that these tiny quick fires would be a great option because they are shorter and low growing to add to the front of this bed. And I don't have any hydrangeas yet in my front borders, and I really wanted to add some. So I think that the tiny quick fire will be a really great option. And when I planted these Sahara Rudbeckia that I started from seed, I actually left a spot open in the center, which is where the Carl Forrester grass was, so that I could plant my tiny quick fires. So I'm going to plant one here and the matching one on the opposite side. This one is going to go right here. This bed here is our driveway bed, and it was added in the fall of 2022, and it's still kind of undergoing some changes. It's a work in progress. But something I do know is that I do want to add some hydrangeas when you come down the driveway that mimic the ones that I have planted in my patio bed. So to have a continuation of shrubs. And so I'm going to plant the Firelight Tidbits in this bed. I'm going to put one here in this spot and one on the other side. And then I will be looking for some kind of evergreen that I can put in the center. So it is still ongoing, as is gardening, right? We're always changing things, but I'm pretty confident that these are going to look beautiful in the front of this bed.
Sit down. Indiana was a long shot, and I could use another round. I don't mean to be too bold. No, it's not at all like me. But when you're making your way home, would you like some company? 'Cause I'm tired of sleeping on my own, and I've such a long way to go, and you these moments where my mind runs from the
I'm on to planting my second tiny quick fire, and I just went ahead and dug a hole that was double the diameter of the plant's root ball. So you can just use your container and just sort of dig around it. And you also want to dig the hole deep enough, not too deep, because there is going to be some settling. So you want to make sure that you plant your plant at least soil level or a little bit higher to allow for settling. So remember, plant it low, it won't grow. Plant it high, it won't die. So anyhow, I've done that. I've also mixed some of the native soil, which is the soil that I dug out of the hole, with some of this Coast of Maine planting mix. And every time that I plant something new in my garden, I do like to give it a startup fertilizer, and I usually use the Espoma Organic Biotone. So I'll sprinkle some of that in the hole and place my plant, make sure it's at the right height, and then I will backfill it with the native soil and planting mix. And then the last step is just to water it in. It was a beautiful morning to get these hydrangeas planted. It is nice and cool, which is really making me look forward to fall planting. So if you're looking for some compact hydrangeas to fit into your garden, I will link the information for both of these hydrangeas down in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I will catch you in the next one.